I tried to use Google Maps. It was too slow. So, we're going to use Waze. Yes, is on pickup, go with the Google Maps. On drop-off, use Waze. Mix it up a little bit. That's what I would say. Alright, so it took me 2 failures to figure it out. This is what you do. When you accept your FVR or your delivery, you have the option to do this. Let's say it's at a Circle K pickup, like mine is. So you first want to say Circle K near me. Then verify the pickup address with the app address. So you have the pickup address and the app address. Verify those things and go through like the way the customer would. So you'd go through Google Maps probably. Because if you go online, it'll give you the option to do Google Maps. Looking at some cool trees. I mean, there's probably 500 different ways that you could probably do it. And all these different navigation, there's probably at least a good 3 navigation apps you can use. But the reason why I do that is because I know that the address is listed on the offer through the app. So I match that address to the address that's listed on the search engine. When you go through Google search engine, okay? And then it pulls up that address. Then you tap on it that way. And usually in most cases, that would be through Google Maps. That'll take you to the right address because that's how the public finds it. All right? So just think of that. The horn that way, the best thing to do is try to get their license plate, see what they do, because they're pretty crazy. This is Arlington area, so she's laying on the horn and trying to get emotional in her Range Rover. So God blessed her with having a really good vehicle, and she's laying on the horn and causing an issue because I had to stop at a yellow light, you know, and she didn't want me to stop at the yellow light. So I don't think she has a proper front tag, so I don't got the front tag on it. So we'll have to find out. She's a black lady flipping out. She goes pulling up behind me. You can obviously see her blinkers on. There goes my blinker.
Watch out. Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Very Christmas spirit of her. Got her right there. Usually the one that's behind is the one that looks like they're right. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why you don't, because you don't want to try to get up behind people. Now she's got her blinkers on, and now she's pulling over, maybe to take a break from honking horns at people. So we'll have to see. Sometimes they pursue, sometimes they don't. But I got her information, so there was no fender bender or anything like that. She's driving with her hazards on, going real slow in the slow lane, trying to be the judge. We got a vice president judge that's in the White House right now that's pretty nice to Indian people, or people from India, Kamala Harris, but she needs to remind some emotional black women to calm the flip down before they get into a lot of trouble. Because I'm a parent and a family member just as much as she is. Right there. And that's the reason why. Okay. That's a form of threatening behavior. She's got her window rolled down. All my windows are rolled up. Okay. And she has her hazards on. Okay. So she's obviously acting like an idiot. So you do deal with crazy people on the highway, okay, and on the regular road. And their nationality doesn't make them any more sane or have any more rights than them not having a nationality, okay? So you don't have to have a nationality. Look at this guy right here. And watch his brake lights. Because of the fact that he's going so quick, he's gonna have to slow down. Yep, there are the brake lights. So not only that lady that's behind me that's having problems adjusting or whatever it is that she's going through, also she's having problems because she's got her hazards on. I gotta find out where this is, and I have to deal with her. There we go. There she goes. Okay, so the nut's on the other way, so that's fine. Nah, she pulled up behind me honking really loud. She wouldn't stop honking, so I got her tags. She's okay. All right, so hopefully she'll calm down, get her Christmas shopping done, and leave other people alone. All right, so now we're gonna pick up this next one, and we'll get it all figured later and get a Circle K dog. I hope I don't have to. All right, so we got the cool cigarettes with some ice, and they are the rudest in town at this Circle K. Rude. You can hear them over there, bitching. So she went to go get her passport. Apparently in this one, you just verify the ID and just put in the date of birth. It's pretty simple. They kind of simplified on this one. So it wasn't really complex. A lot of them, you gotta like scan the back of them and all that kind of stuff. Didn't have to at all on this one. But I was a teenager, I'll tell you that. She was an old one. No, she was old. She had her passport. So anyway, passport's a good thing. I have one, but I need to update my passport. I think it's like $70 to update your passport. Because I was going to fly to Germany. I was going to go to Deutschland, the Vaterland. I was going to study. I was going to go to the Berlin Wall, see the old Berlin Wall. Well, it's been knocked down in Berlin, but I was going to check that out. And I had a tutor that invited me to go to Germany. So I updated my passport. It's a weird word, passport. And the plans fell through. I wasn't able to. My friend Olona was going to let me go. She wasn't able to do it. She's a big Aikido person. I think she's an Aikido instructor. But she's out in Germany. She was my tutor here for a few years. When I took about 6 years of German, Deutschland. Sie sprechen Deutsch nicht so gut. Anyway, yeah, her passport's fine. This artwork right here, that's great stuff right there. This is in Arlington. They painted on a lot of those boxes, I guess, to make it look, you know, more artsy. It's kind of cool. The home of Selena Gomez, as in the one and only Grand Prairie. And this area is pretty much where we're going to be dropping off our Christmas gifts to my kids, but not like right here at this present moment. But there's a church over here not too far from here where they go to sometimes. If the mom still's taking them there, but I know that there's people there that know where they're at. So that's what we did last year. We dropped off the Christmas gifts there. And, you know, they were pretty nice, they're, I mean, churches know how to deal with this kind of stuff usually, and not all marriages work out. Not every single marriage works out. And church is usually a common ground, a meeting ground for parents to, meet and say, look, I'm wrong, you're wrong, we're both wrong. These are the reasons why we're wrong. But we don't really do that during Christmas time. It's all peace. It's about peace and joy. And that's usually where I drop the Christmas. And I feel good doing that, because if it doesn't get to the kids, it gets to some kids. But what I do is I put a photo of my kids on it. And then I put like it's kind of what I do is I do one gift bag or one or two gift bags. Usually I think I should do one gift bag. It's got the 3 presents inside for all 3 kids. Then I staple a photo of the family, what the family would look like. And then I do a photo of like the kids. And I put the photo of one for David, one for Elizabeth, and one for Gwendolyn. And then I leave it in the bag, and I say, well, this is for my kids. And then I put like the Spivey resident or Spivey residence for the Spivey's residence, or I'll just say for the Spiveys is what I say. Better just to say the name. I say for the Spiveys, and then I give the full name of all 3 kids. That way they know exactly where the gifts go and stuff. Now that guy's kind of rude. I mean, I feel that I'm in traffic, personally, He doesn't. He feels like there isn't traffic, and he can just sweep, like look at all the brake lights right here. And he can just sweep around, sweep through traffic. I know it's not a word, but it's a word today. Just sweeving around through traffic. It could be a word. It could be a new word for, Soloming through traffick. Sweeping through traffic, in his vehicle. Fishtailing through traffic is what the guy was doing. But I don't care. At this point in the stage of my 3rd year, this is probably my third and a half year or something, I just get to the point where I just don't even care. Sometimes I have fun. I know how to push the buttons, but I don't care. So if someone goes by on a motorcycle like 300 miles per hour right now, which they can't, that's physically almost impossible. Some motorcycles might. If they're going like 150, and there's like, whoosh, I don't know. I don't really care. I'd get on video, but I don't care. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's like all these LA chases. Linda and I watched one. It went on for like an hour and 40 minutes. This young kid, or I don't even know if it was a young kid. We don't really. I think it was an illegal Mexican. It was like dude's probably like 30 or something, or in the mid-20s or something. This guy ran for a long time, like physically. He got out of one vehicle, so they chased him, and the vehicle just pretty much was done with. The wheels were done with, sparks were flying everywhere, and the guy gets out of the vehicle and starts running. So he takes it to the feet. He tries to break into this red truck with some device or something. Couldn't get in it because of something. He was trying to get through the door of the truck, trying to break the lock on the truck. Wasn't able to break the lock on the truck, so he had to keep running. So finally, he keeps running, and they start getting to the point where they catch up with him. And I think he was in like originally a black economy-sized car. And finally he gets out, and he runs, this has happened in Los Angeles. He runs into someone's house. And they pull like kitchen
Watch out. Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
They pull kitchen knives out on him. So they run out into the front driveway with kitchen knives, or the main guy did. But the wife is pulling her husband back, or the owner of the house, common law wife, whatever you want to call it, pulling the husband back so that he doesn't stab this young guy that's jumping into his, you know what, let me retell the story. That's actually not correct. So it starts off, the guy's in a black economy-sized car, and he's running like in Los Angeles. So he jumps out of his car. Eventually that car runs out of gas. I think that's what happened. And he jumps out of the car, and he starts running until he finds this red truck. And they're already in pursuit, like the media helicopter, like the channel news helicopter has been over him for a while. It's already been gone on for like 20 minutes. And finally he runs out of gas. He jumps out of his black economy-sized car and starts running. And he finds this red truck. So he tries to break into the red truck with some device, but he's not able to get into the truck. And then he keeps running. And he finds this white van. That's what it was. It was a white van. And he jumps in the white van. And he starts it in a matter of 20 seconds. Somehow. He breaks into it, gets it started. They're like, wow, he got it. And he got it started. And they're not even there yet. Turns around. And Piggy's still kind of, pursuing. And he turns around, and then he slowly leaves the suburban area and gets back onto, whatever road. The chopper is the reason why. The chopper was the only reason why they caught this guy. Because he changed the vehicles. They would have known. They would have never known without the chopper. And this guy's working for this company, whatever company, what his media's company is killing this dude. I mean, he's in there telling him everything. Oh, he's in a white van. I was rooting for the guy. And so the chopper news guy's like, oh, he's in a white van. He's going that way. Talk about paparazzi, Like the guy live, Probably a legal alien or whatever. But anyway, not the guy in the chopper. That would be a media guy that's probably studied at Yale University or something. I'm talking about the guy that was running for his life. So the guy gets into the van. And the media chopper guy's like, oh, he's in a van. There he is in a van. He's got away. He's going to the van. So he gets in a van, and he starts, driving his van around. And, it's his new van. It's the van he just broke into. He goes quite a bit away in this van, like really, really doing really well. They almost get him a couple of times. I think they try to pit him a couple of times on the van. Doesn't work. So finally, he hits this other car, but his tire is out the back doing sparks. And he's stuck. And he is just ripping in. I'll tell you about it later. So he finally gets in this van, and he's just ripping it. The back tires are sparking. Police, Piggy, whatever you want to call them, are right behind him. They're just about, And they got him pinned where he can't go anywhere. And the back of the van starts to catch on fire, and the engine starts to smoke. Finally, he jumps out of that and goes running into the neighborhood. Goes into these guys, like this family's house, either grabs the car keys or the guy just gets back, jumps into his, work truck. And the Mexican guy's trying to stab him with a knife, which I think is stupid. He shouldn't kill people over property. But he gets away, and he gets their vehicle. And he gets their truck, and then he goes on even a longer, it went on for an hour and 40 minutes, and he goes on even a longer chase. And the media chopper's, I got a truck, and got a work truck, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why just leave the guy alone? Now, anyway, they ended up getting him. But luckily, they shot into his van, but I think they did a beanbag shot to scare him. He didn't care. He stayed, it all ended up at a gas station. And they shot into his vehicle, which I think is all over property. It's stupid. They shouldn't have killed the guy. But they didn't kill him, though. He lived. Or they may have hurt him, but they dragged him off at the end. But one of the best ones I ever saw was an LA, California chase. It was all, the media chopper. It's like he had a normal sized car or whatever, and he was on the ocean front. It was like Ocean 1. And he took it to the mountains so they couldn't chase him. Because, the cops would put the lives of the citizens in danger, even though they put the lives of the people at the gas station in danger by and the police put the lives of the citizens at the gas station into danger because they shot in different directions at the gas station, so the police could have killed. And the police do kill people chasing these people, especially in Los Angeles and California. They kill people all the time. It happens. Hundreds of people, get killed, more than that probably, in Los Angeles because of these chases, because they value property over life. That includes the police, or the Piggy. And so Piggy finally, anyway, so the one that I really liked was it was on the ocean. It was the ocean front one. They were like on Ocean 1. And Piggy's chasing this guy, and he takes it to the mountains. Now, this guy knows, like, he's a fucking genius because, excuse my language, the guy knows that he can get away. Because if the police chase him up in the mountains, they could kill someone, that's driving along the mountain ocean front. Because those are dangerous. Even when things are normal, it's dangerous to do. I got picked one at a restaurant or something. I picked up some food, drop it off your door. Anyway, so they chase him up in the mountain, and like the police are like kind of like, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles behind him or something, because he's going pretty quick, and they're not breaking any laws or anything on those mountains, because they'd kill pedestrians, or they'd kill people that are walking along the mountainside or on the sidewalks, or other people that are driving their vehicles. They'd kill them trying to chase them. So they let him go away. But the police chopper, and of course the media chopper, they stay on him the whole time. Well, that's the only one he's contending with. And so what he does is he drives all the way to Los Angeles, a relatively normal speed, because they didn't chase him through the mountains. It's like the mountains along the ocean front. It doesn't go for more than maybe an hour long. And he gets into Los Angeles, and he goes to kind of like a fancy area of Los Angeles, and they're not anywhere really behind him, but the police choppers are right over him, and the media is right over him. The media choppers, channel news choppers, and they finally finds this huge apartment complex. It's a really big apartment complex, and this is far before they can get on him or whatever. The pigs are, they're way behind, and because of that mountain, because they weren't able to find his exact direction. And he finds in Los Angeles, he goes into this complex, and he pulls into the basement of this huge apartment complex. It's like very, very big. Now, he must have been thinking this when he was on the ocean front and running from Piggy, in California. And he just goes right in to this basement of this apartment complex and vanishes. Now, it was over a stolen vehicle, so they have no idea. Now, all he has to do is go crawl into a vent or act like he's a maintenance person at the apartment complex or whatever. Well, they went to the apartment complex, and believe me, they were knocking on doors. But we're talking about thousands of apartments. Thousands. This apartment complex probably had 2,000 or more apartments. It's a huge apartment complex. You wouldn't even believe how big it was. I mean, it was really, really big. Really big. They never found him. Not to this day. Now, it was funny because the media chopper guy, you could hear in his voice, like, this guy got away, And he's like, well, there's someone running outside the apartment complex. The guy runs into a Starbucks. It was just some guy running into a Starbucks to pick up his order. So they had to let him go because he would go to Starbucks to pick up his order. And they just circle around this apartment complex going, where in the world? It was very Breaking Bad. It was really cool. It kind of reminded me of that movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, which I think is a great movie. Because after Piggy is chasing him, he leads Piggy to a big stadium of people. And then he parks his car right there in the basement or right there in the parking lot and then just jumps out. Now, of course, nowadays, they're going to have cameras in a lot of those places, and they'll have to access the cameras, but that still takes time. Because I was going to work for a stealth company. It was a company that monitored other people through looking through cameras all over the public. And I was offered the job, but I would do the editing. I was going to do the editing because what they do is when they send it to the police department, they have to edit it. They have to edit the video because the police don't have time to sit there and watch, a 20-minute video, of someone doing something. They want it to be very concise and see exactly what happened. So what they do is the Philippines monitor almost everything. So they have these these gigantic, very massive call centers in the Philippines. And when they see something they think is wrong, and sometimes they report like couples holding hands, they'll send that report to the stealth center of these couples holding hands on a bus. And then the Americans receive it, and they look at it, and they go, oh, that's just a couple holding hands. It's not that big of a deal. And so then they would look at it, and they look at the whole footage, and then they would determine, this was the kind of stuff I was doing, I was hired to do, determine to whether that was a threat to society or not. So you have to use discretion on everything. Now, the Philippines might see something as weird, and we would see it as completely normal. So a lot of times you think that piggy departments have access to these cameras, and they don't. That actually is done by private companies. Now, they can access the cameras if they're requested to in a situation, but that takes time. And if the guy had the proper mask and, got out of the vehicle, at the because they could still look through the footage of the parking lot, because they see the vehicle and they see the guy get out, they could try to get something there and try to get him in that way. Because I know they're always trying to lock people up. But personally, my personal opinion in the matter is they should have let the guy alone from the beginning. There shouldn't have been a media chopper, nor should they be. And if I become president, I will eliminate the media chopper. I will not allow the media to have a chopper, because they're the ones that are instigating these chases. They're egging it on, just like the donut operator on YouTube. They're egging it on, right? They're making sure that the chase happens for the sake of idiots, of evil people that want to harm other people. And that's wrong, because it's becoming what's called the Coliseum, which is wrong. And I'll stop that. Particular order, I verified through Waze and Google Maps. So I verified through both of them to make sure they both matched up. And we're good to go. This is a future part of Utopia. What we're looking at right here. It's a version of Utopia. So I had the clerk ask me if I was with Instacart and stuff like that. I told her, yeah, something like that, which isn't, But they're going to try to get information off you. Be sure not to give that to them, not to the clerks. If you can conceal it, don't let them know. Meaning, what company that you're with. There's a reason why they ask that. It's really none of their business, but don't say that. Instead, she said, are you with Instacart or something like that? And I said, yeah, something like that. She goes, oh. So why do you ask? Oh, I'm just trying to have a conversation. I said, okay. I know if you're really 100% interested, I'll give you a referral code, but I know that you're not. You're at 7-Eleven, right? And she was like, oh, I'm just trying to have a conversation. Then I took everything and I said, Merry Christmas. A lot of these things require payment, and you don't want to let them know, because they'll tell everybody in the area what you're doing, and then everyone else will try to start doing it. You want to hand them the card upside down if you can. The reason why is because this is a competitive field, okay? Business is competitive. And if she thinks it's Instacart, then she'll, do Instacart or whatever. Or she'll tell everybody to do Instacart. You don't want everybody doing exactly what you're doing. That's why I call it FVR. Because only intelligent people will be able to decipher that. Nice solar power.